Police arrested a man after a teenager was shot in the face during a fight over a parking spot in southwest Houston. Michael Barrett is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The shooting happened last Thursday at an apartment complex off West Airport and Fondren. Investigators say the victim, 27-year-old Jason Grays, punched the suspect, Barrett, who police say went inside his apartment, grabbed a gun, then shot Grays. Police say Barrett took off, but officers were able to arrest him.
Now, I'm a little bit confused. I never heard of a 27-year-old teenager. But that aside, this brother right here, when you encountering these younger son men, and maybe he meant to say 17, I don't know. But when you're encountering these younger son men in the street, it can get dicey because they look at him as an older guy, and it's not like when we were kids. Like when I was a kid, you respected your elders. You stopped cussing when the old lady came around. You gave an old woman your seat on the bus or on the train, or you looked crazy. You look crazy not doing that. I remember one time I didn't do it, and like some people they lady was like, she went off on us. Like, it was just, you went to all the old ladies' houses in the neighborhood on trash day, and they gave you 50 cents to take the trash out. You took their groceries up, and they gave you $1 or some change to bring their groceries from the street to their apartment. Older men, you just had a level of respect for them. That is completely and utterly, officially over with. Older guys are looked at as lames, marks, someone not to be respected. And that's how it is. And I've seen it. As I got older, I got old fast too. Like I was just like, damn, like I turned around and I was all gray and I was old. And I'm like, dang, I'm an older guy now. And I see the way the young guys, now a lot of them are cool, but when you get into these situations, you being an older guy, like there's no like, it doesn't give you a credit or an allowance. It doesn't do anything for you. You're basically, it's worthless. Your age is worthless in these situations with these young men. So this brother felt like he needed to go get a gun. I'm not going to knock this brother. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, he shot somebody. This is just a cookie cutter commentary. Hey, he might have had to. Because a lot of times they'll know where you live at. Like, for instance, this was happening where he lived at. The guys who got in the park may have been visiting the neighborhood, seeing someone else, and it may have been like that. This guy lived there because he went into his house. We'll be back. All right. Oh, where you gonna live at now? Well, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll talk. They'll let you know they're gonna come back and terrorize you, like shoot up your house or something like that. They'll let you know that. Like, it's not like you have to guess. It's not like I divined from what he said that they were going to know. They'll tell you we're coming back to shoot up your. So he may have just took, like, I'm gonna take matters in my own hand. So I can't just criticize this guy. We'll wait for more information to come out.
Police arrested a man after a teenager was shot in the face during a fight over a parking spot in southwest Houston. Michael Barrett is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The shooting happened last Thursday at an apartment complex off West Airport and Fondren. Investigators say the victim, 27-year-old Jason Grays, punched the suspect, Barrett, who police say went inside his apartment, grabbed a gun, then shot Graves. Police say Barrett took off, but officers were able to arrest him a few blocks away.
A murder investigation underway now on Detroit's west side after a man is shot and killed while driving along I-96. Victor Williams is there along the freeway where all lanes are now back open.
Very big difference from what we saw earlier. As you can see, traffic is now flowing once again normally after this fatal freeway shooting took place in broad daylight. The eastbound lane of I-96 and parts of Greenfield Road shut down for hours as police investigate the death of a young man shot and killed on the freeway. Witnesses say they heard shots fired on the interstate and then saw the victim exit the freeway at Greenfield. Apparently, he only had enough strength to make it to the street where he crashed. The 25-year-old victim from Novi was found by a patrolling officer in this black Monte Carlo riddled with bullets. Unfortunately, by the time he was transported to a nearby hospital, he was pronounced dead. Investigators are under the impression this was a targeted shooting, but police are asking for the public's help in ultimately solving who's responsible for killing this man while he was behind the wheel.
The highways, the roads are not safe. It's a killing field now. I'm careful. Okay? I'm looking around. You have to watch out for the carjackers. You have to watch out for the sun teens and the sun men. You got to watch out for all that. There's going to be a backlash against this, okay? Especially because it's the group that's doing is easy identifiable. It's not like you're looking for a certain type of profile. They're all same group, the same age. They dress the same, they act the same. You can see them coming a mile away. They drive the same cars, they wear the same jeans, they wear the same tennis shoes. They're talking, it's the same type of talk. There's going to be a backlash. And it's going to be wide in scope. It's going to be a backlash from the government, meaning the judicial system. It's going to be a backlash from citizens. There's going to be a spiritual backlash. You know, it's going to be a spiritual backlash. These guys are going to be punished spiritually for this.
It's 5:01 now. Going to this breaking news today. Very scary situation overnight. Police say a man was shot and killed after the pickup that he was in was followed.
Now the people in the car that opened fire are on the run. KPRC2 Sophia Ojeda is live on Winfield and River Trail in Northeast Houston with more on the investigation. Sophia?
Good morning, guys. I just spoke to an investigator on scene, and he tells me that it's not clear if the suspects and the victims knew each other or if it was the words that were exchanged between the two groups that was the cause of this fatal shooting. Take a look behind me here. It's still a very active scene. The three people that were in that white pickup truck drove here to the parking lot of a school on Winfield Road. Investigators say one man in that truck died from his injuries. Now, homicide investigators say that the incident began about a mile away at a Valero gas station. Words were exchanged between two groups. A man in the white pickup truck got out and approached the vehicle. The people in the other vehicle, the people in the white pickup truck then drove off. The other vehicle followed them. That's when investigators say the suspects opened fire on the white pickup, hitting a man inside in the back seat, killing him. The victims drove off and ended up here in the parking lot of this school on Winfield Road.
Vehicle pulled up with several suspects, said something to our complainants, three of them in the white pickup truck. They drove off. Apparently the vehicle followed them, and at the intersection of Winfield and San Lucia, the vehicle pulled up, opened fired on the complainants.
Investigators say they are now looking at surveillance video. They're hoping to catch a better description of the shooter and the vehicle that was involved. Of course, if anybody has any information to contact Houston Police, we'll be here on scene and work to get more information and bring you another update within the next.
Well, they say the guy in the white truck approached the other car and then got back in his car and rode off. It's never over, okay? Like, it's never over. They would have seen him again sometime later. They might actually shot somebody in a white pickup truck that wasn't him. Just being like, oh, there go that guy right there. Like, it's never over, man. The long memories. And if you think you're just going to, you know, even if it's like, hey, man, that's my girl. Why you catcalling her? Or show some respect. And then you walk like, nah, that's, they can kill you now. Now they feel like they can kill you now. So, and then especially you drove off, like, they might have killed you in the parking lot with tons of cameras and well-lit area and witnesses. But then you drove off, making it to where now they can just pull up beside you, shoot you, and then just speed off into the night. You actually made yourself a better target by driving away from the well-lit area where other people and cameras were. It's just more like defense now. Like, I know you don't want to be like, nobody wants to be a sucker. Nobody wants to be a punk. Nobody wants to feel like a mark. And I'm sure one of these three people was a girl. Nobody wants to feel like a lame. But you have to understand, when you're on the road or in your car, things have changed. Okay? Things have changed. It's a sea change. And we all have to, you know, adjust to it accordingly. It's just like with the pandemic. People started wearing masks. People got used to it. Social distancing, people were doing that, like for whatever time they were doing it. Not so much anymore, but at that time, when at the height of it, everybody was doing what they had to do. And everybody it was a change and new requirements or whatever. It's the same thing with this. Until whatever happens, the backlash happens, you have to think strategically, you know, when in the presence of, you know, certain individuals, certain types of people.